The following video is an overview of the safety requirements and hazards you may encounter while working on a PJ Hair construction site. We believe our most valuable asset to safety, quality, and production on the job site are the workers, and because of this, your day-to-day safety is our top priority. Our goal will always be to strive for zero injuries by being transparent with all our safety systems on the job site. PJ Hair encourages all contractors to report any observed job site hazards. We will work with all contractors to ensure their work can be conducted safely. The employees are the most important asset to our safety program. Remember, it is your job site, your safety. This project at OSF Streator Center for Health requires each individual worker to adhere to a number of guidelines. Each contractor should review the Proactive Constructive Risk Assessment, otherwise known as the PCRA, prior to starting work on the job site. Each individual is required to sign off after review of the document, stating they understand the risks and safeguards implemented for the specific project. If any changes to the document need to be made, contact the PJ Hair superintendent. It is the expectation of both OSF and PJ Hair that all contractor employees conduct themselves in a courteous and professional manner at all times. Offensive clothing, foul language will not be tolerated on site. Clothing should have full sleeves, pants, and work boots, and all clothing wiped down prior to leaving the construction area to prevent the spread of dust to occupied areas of the hospital. While on site, it is required for all employees to wear and clearly display an OSF Healthcare ID badge on the front torso area of their body. Restroom facilities will be designated to construction areas or as designated by the OSF project manager and PJ Hair superintendent. All contractor employees will park in assigned areas as designated by the site map. Failure to do so may result in ticketing and towing without notice. All material deliveries should be coordinated with the PJ Hair superintendent. In addition, all construction employees should use the contractor entrances as highlighted on the map. This PJ Hair project is a smoke-free and tobacco-free job site, which includes the use of e-cigarettes. In addition, the use of alcohol or drugs is strictly prohibited. In addition, any work conducted under the influence of drugs or alcohol is not permissible, and any persons found in non-compliance with these policies will be removed from the job site. All construction employees are required to have a flu vaccine, and documentation should be sent to the PJ Hair superintendent. All employees are responsible to secure their tools and equipment if not in use, and are not to leave any equipment unattended. All construction equipment should be stored in designated areas. Movement of material, equipment, and debris through OSF buildings are restricted to designated pathways. Identify the route on the map for transport. All carts and dump carts should be in good working condition and not scratch the floor finishes and roll quietly as not to disturb staff and patients. All debris carts should be covered during transport through any OSF building. All planned utility shutdowns should be coordinated with PJ Hair superintendent and require a minimum of 72-hour notice. If work is to be conducted above ceiling, contractors should observe existing penetrations and ensure they are properly sealed and utilities hung correctly. If any deficiencies are observed, immediately notify PJ Hair superintendent. If any employee is found in serious offense of any of these items, OSF Healthcare and PJ Hair reserve the right to terminate the offending employee and escort them off the OSF campus. Finally, prior to starting work for the day, each individual contractor company must fill out a construction activity risk evaluation, otherwise known as the CARE form. This form is designed to identify and safeguard hazards found specifically in the healthcare job site. Each form must be reviewed and signed by each crew member and the PJ Hair superintendent. A key component of of safety on the job site is prompt reporting of all hazards and incidents so that proper care can be given for necessary injuries. Minor injuries can be treated at the first aid station located on the project. Any injuries requiring professional medical attention should be reported to the PJ Hare superintendent and the affected employee immediately taken to the nearest treatment facility. In addition to personal injuries, any equipment damage or incident, damage to the existing or newly constructed building, or any near miss which could have led to serious bodily harm should be reported. At PJ Hare, safety is viewed as a major factor in all of our projects. A safe project is productive and ensures all of our employees and subcontractors return home safely. As part of this program, PJ Hare requires all active employees on the job site to wear appropriate personal protective equipment. This includes hard hats to protect from overhead hazards, which are an ever-present hazard on the job. Safety glasses are required to provide protection from any flying particles. If grinding or welding is going to be completed, then a face shield with appropriate shading is required to be worn. High visibility clothing is required to be worn anytime there is mobile equipment being operated. This consists of either a safety vest or high-vis yellow or orange shirt. These bright colors help ground workers stand out to equipment operators. Full pants and leather work boots are required of all employees engaged in construction activity. If using cutting tools or handling metal, then cut-resistant gloves should be worn as a means of cut prevention. As with any construction site, there is a possibility of encountering a variety of chemicals which could have a negative effect on your health. Each chemical container must have a label, and any secondary containers should be labeled as well to help give basic hazard information. Each PJ Hare superintendent has an SDS binder located on the job with general job site chemicals, which lists the hazards and safe work procedures to be taken when handling the specific hazard. However, if you are a subcontractor bringing additional chemicals to the job site, it is your responsibility to provide PJ Hare with a copy of your SDS book. Fire extinguishers are located on every PJ Hare project. However, if the fire is too large to fight, immediately contact emergency services. If the incipient fire can be controlled with a fire extinguisher, locate the nearest fire extinguisher and utilize the pass technique. Pull the pin, aim at the base, squeeze the lever, and sweep away the fire. At times, there may be operations such as concrete sawing, mold abatement, or other tasks which could be potentially hazardous to your respiratory system. In these situations, proper respiratory protection should be worn. Consult with your safety department on proper respirator and filter, and remember, only authorized individuals are permitted to wear respirators. Ladders are used on almost every PJ Hare project. Proper inspection prior to field use is key to ensuring safe work at elevated heights. Stickers should be legible and weight capacities reviewed. Check side rails and rungs for cracks, bends, or other deformities. Step ladders should have the braces fully engaged and all legs should be stable before using. At no time should a step ladder be leaned against a wall for access or work conducted from the top step. If using a straight ladder to access another working level, ensure the ladder extends 3 feet beyond the landing and is tied off to the structure. Verify the ladder is set up at a 4:1 height to horizontal ratio. Fall protection is required whenever employees are exposed to falls 6 feet in height or greater. This may include work areas such as excavations, elevated platforms, aerial lifts, or building roofs. Fall protection systems fall into 2 categories: primary and secondary. Primary systems are the preferred method of fall protection, as they eliminate exposures to falls from leading edges. Primary systems include guardrails, floor and hole covers, and warning lines. Guardrails should be built with the top rails at 42 inches, plus or minus 3 inches, with a mid-rail bisecting that height. The top rail of a guardrail should be capable of supporting 200 pounds of force in an outward and downward angle. Warning lines can be utilized on the roof for fall prevention, provided they are stepped back a minimum of 6 feet from the edge during roofing activity and 15 feet during non-roofing activity. Flag lines should be maintained at all times and kept between 34 to 39 inches off the deck. If at any time a worker has to conduct work between the warning line and roof edge, they are required to be tied off or have another form of fall protection. Secondary fall protection devices include personal fall arrest systems. These systems are made up of a harness, lanyard, or retractable, and an anchorage point. Inspect the harness for any defects which may require it to be removed from service. Make sure the straps are not cut or frayed, and inspect the metal fittings for corrosion or excessive wear. When wearing the harness, the D-ring should be located in the middle of the shoulder blades. The chest strap should be tight and low on the chest to prevent rollout. The leg straps should be tight with just enough slack to fit your palm underneath. Inspect lanyards for cuts, burns, and other deformities which may require it to be removed from service. If at any time a personal fall arrest system has been subjected to a fall, then the whole system should be removed from service. If you are using a self-retracting lanyard, inspect that the brake is working correctly. It should arrest the cable immediately when sharply pulled. Inspect the cable or webbing to ensure that there is no damage to the line. All retractables should be connected directly to the D-ring. At no time should you hook them to a 6-foot lanyard. Anchorage points, where the lanyard is connected, should be located at head height or higher whenever possible. This is because with a 6-foot lanyard, you could experience a fall height of 18.5 feet, factoring in the lanyard being fully extended, your body height, and a 3-foot safety factor for cushion. Anchorage points must be capable of supporting a minimum of 5,000 pounds per worker. If you are unsure of the anchorage point rating, ask your supervisor for verification. Confined spaces should be evaluated by each contractor on the job site to determine if the confined space is permit required. If entry is to be completed, each entry contractor is required to submit personnel training documentation, ensure atmospheric conditions are safe, and that all energy sources are locked and tagged out. Adequate ventilation should be provided for safe confined space conditions. A pre-meeting with the on-site PJ Hare superintendent is also required prior to entry. Anytime work is conducted in an excavation, it should be evaluated to make sure the sides are properly protected. A determination of soil classification should be done by a competent person. From this assessment, the decision can be made whether to slope, bench, or protect the sides with a trench box. Remember, an excavation 4 feet deep requires ladder access every 25 feet. At 5 feet in depth, shoring or sloping is required, and at 6 feet in depth, fall protection is necessary.
Hi, my name is Bob Hare, and I am Chairman and CEO of PJ Hare Incorporated. If you are a new or first-time employee on one of our job sites, I want to welcome you. If you're a new subcontractor employee, welcome as well. And if you've worked for us before, welcome back. As one of the oldest and most established contractors in the central Illinois area since 1914, we at PJ Hare have earned our reputation on countless projects over those years. We've earned a superior reputation for quality of construction and for innovativeness and for creativity and superior customer service. Beyond those necessary elements for success, however, lies an even more important principle that we strive for on our job sites each day. The goal and the mission to ensure that every one of our team members on our job sites goes home safely to their family each evening. It's a goal that I have committed myself to personally and that we have committed ourselves to organizationally in the over 40 years that I've been involved in the construction industry. As a member of our team, you're expected to take safety as seriously as I do. Adherence to OSHA standards and to PJ Hare established safety policy and use of personal protective equipment is mandatory. If you're not sure that you have the proper training to do the job that you're assigned to, talk to your supervisor. If you see something unsafe on the job site, try to correct it safely yourself first, and if you're not able to, or if you're not sure, talk to your supervisor. If you feel that you're being asked to do something unsafely, report that to your safety director, Hans Heinrichsen, or to myself. If you cannot or will not do things safely on our job sites, you'll be asked to leave our employment. Safety compliance with PJ Hare is mandatory and non-negotiable. Again, welcome to our company, and remember, working safely at PJ Hare is not just our expectation, it's our way of life, and more importantly, it's our way to life. Be safe out there, and God bless.